welcome to the newest episode of Borderline Podcast Disorder. I hope you had a nice weekend and beginning of the week. If you watched the football or soccer, however you call it, during the weekend, if you supported, England or Colombia, I'm sorry for you. If you're a Argentina or Spain fan, then well done to you. I hope you're enjoying these moments. I um I watched it as pretty much an outsider, although I have a slight inclination for Argentina. Just because of Messi, really. Um, and on the previous job, I met a couple of. I actually met the Argentinian delegation, and they were very nice people. I really enjoyed working for them for a couple of days, and yeah, he just left me with a really nice memory. So yeah, I'm quite happy for them. In regards to the England Spain game, although I'm based in England, I didn't. I kind of wanted England to win, to be honest. It was mostly because I live here, and mostly because my some of like my closest friends are England fans. But uh, yeah, I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it. Also, I'm battling a summer cold, so I got more annoying things happening to me that affect me personally right now. But yeah, no. Besides of that, I've been doing a couple of shows last week. Which was really nice. It was nice to get back after a while, after the whole few. Wow, well, I think it was almost a month of barely doing any shows because of how unwell I was. And then last week, I proposed to my partner, and she said yes. That's why there is still a podcast today. I'm not off the grid. But no, yes, I did propose, and she did say yes, and I'm very very happy about that. And now I'm just looking forward to this terrible headache that I've got because of the cold to go away, and then everything will be perfect. I think. Not sure about perfect, but it will be good, and it still is good. It still is good. I can't complain. I think pickle and sarma they kind of like grow up. No, kinda they do. They are growing up, and they are just so adorable. And they come to bed now very often, and it's just nice having them in the house. I think it just makes things easier. So if you don't own any pets, or if you don't have any pets and you would like some, I'd probably say, get a pet. We Because of the lifestyle, we can't really have dogs around. It's too much of work. But getting pickle and sarma was the best decision I've made, probably at least in a very long time, and it's just so beautiful. But leaving that on aside, because I think updates wise, because of the lack of gigging and doing other things, because of the again still recovering from the last few months, and then now battling this cold. I was meant to go out and gig today, but I won't be able to. Um, what else? Oh, yeah, maybe I don't know if I should talk about this though, but I'll talk about it anyway. It's happened. It's happened, folks. On I think was it Friday last week? Yeah, Friday. The week just ended. Um, someone spotted my Mag and David, my necklace, and wasn't very happy about it. Um, so she started, shouting some abusive stuff, and yeah, it was a bit weird, and I kind of laughed it off, but then I thought, I don't know how I feel about this, and I still don't know. I still feel like there's a lot of idiots out there, and I'm not necessarily looking for life changing decisions or life changing advice from someone that I've never met and doesn't like me for who I am, based on the fact that I'm proud about my heritage, and about my faith. But yeah, no, it was quite weird, Um, I still think I'm kind of like figuring out whatever happened, and I don't know what else to say about it. But yeah, it's happened anyway. I thought it would be worth mentioning because again, there is still a lot of abuse out there. There's still a lot of bad stuff happening. You get um, a lot of hate, and it's a shame. It's really, really, really sad, and it's kind of makes you wonder, you know, what what's happening. Are we going forward or backwards as a society? But I feel like it just feels worse in England. Um, yeah, maybe in London. I haven't been outside of London for a while. Besides of a couple of gigs that I did and also there were in a few like towns nearby, which for some is technically still London. But I don't know, man. It just feels awkward. Sometimes I do think about it, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I kinda am glad my parents are not around. They would hate this. Um, yeah. Anyway, this week's conversation is with a comedian. He's based in London, and well, he's a comedian. Is also a host, or he's a part of a wrestling podcast. I've met Ibs almost, I don't know, I want to say a year ago, maybe less. I'm really bad with dates. I can't remember. But look, he's a funny guy, and he seems like a nice guy. And we talked a little bit about like wrestling and how wrestling is like a conspiracy theory, and I think for both of us being comedians, it kind of it worked out really well. We talked about his experience at the Edinburgh Fringe from a year ago, and we talked about like hometowns, and pride, and the idea of, I guess, belonging, and look, it was a good hour. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy listening to it. So yeah, enjoy. Hello, how's it going, Ibs? You good?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, no,
It's
no worries, man. I mean, it's good fun to like get a chance to like speak on podcasts and stuff when it's like usually like not wrestling because I do a wrestling podcast where just always talking.
Yeah, but it's going really well though. Like you're doing, I really enjoy your shorts. Like the ones that you. I mean, I enjoy most of the shorts
Yeah,
from the podcast, but especially the ones you're in. So you're doing, yeah, I think you're doing all right there.
no, man. I think it's what's fun about it. It's just like comedians talk about wrestling. Actually, the Wrestle Club podcast, by the way, everyone, that shameless plug. Yeah, have that on Instagram or like wherever you listen to podcasts. But it's great because like with wrestling's the only thing, yeah, where all conspiracy theories can be true. So like it's that's I think that's what's the greatest thing about it. Like it's usually it's like everyone with their tinfoil hats on going, yeah, I think this guy's done this. And then about 10 years later, you're like, oh shit, he actually did do this. And you're like, ah. So it's more like, yeah.
How did you get into wrestling in the first place?
Um, I think I remember one of my first memories is like we had like I don't know what type of cable we had, but it definitely wasn't Sky. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. So we had this cable and like about 10, 11 o'clock, Cartoon Network would like turn off. And like for months, I was like, all right, cool, that's the time for bed or whatever. And then one day I got to stay up and like got to see past the graphics of the Cartoon Network. And then like shit blew up and there's the open entrance of WCW Nitro and like watched like Goldberg. If anyone knows who the wrestler Goldberg is, he comes out with security guards. He looks like the hardest motherfucker you've ever like seen in your life and you saw him come into the ring, destroy this man in 30 seconds. I was done. It was like, yeah, I'm watching this forever. And and we've had some times where it's been bad and we haven't watched it for a bit because wrestling's a bit like the best way I think the best way to describe watch it like wrestling is like when you buy weed, yeah, and you like if it's good, yeah, you're like, yeah, it's good, yeah. When it's bad, it's like, this is bad. Why am I doing this in the first place? Like, I should be doing better things with my life. And like, that is the best way to describe wrestling in a nutshell. Like, that is
So
it.
there were times when you were like, "Oh, why am I
Yeah, yeah, yeah. At
getting
times
involved?"
sometimes I just didn't even smoke. I took a break. I took a break.
No
Did better
way.
things with it. Yeah. Yeah, there was times where I took breaks. But like, wrestling always finds a way to get you back in it. Like it's the top level silly bollocks. And even though like we know it's predetermined, that's what I'm going with. Yeah, that's the word I'm going with. Before anyone comes at me, we know that it's about how we get there. Like show us every show on like HBO or like the BBC. It is predetermined. You know
True.
it's predetermined. Yeah. So like yeah,
Fair enough, man. I think it's again, it's a fair point, and it's interesting, it's fun, and I fairly like I haven't thought about this for years, but actually that's similar to how I started watching I watched for a while when I was younger
yeah,
WWE, and you had like
yeah,
SmackDown and you had the Raw, and
yeah,
but yeah, and I kind of got into it the same way. I was just watching TV, and then it was like 10 or 11 o'clock, and you would just start, and you're like, oh, what is this? And
yeah.
then
Oh,
you kind of yeah, you just I think I started like checking on I had the computer in the living room, and I would go and like check on the computer the schedule for like TV to see when
yeah.
the wrestling goes back on, and I'd watch it. But yeah, no, fair enough. And look, that's the thing. Like you said, you're getting involved with the podcast, and it looks really good. Besides of that, you're also obviously doing comedy, right?
Yeah,
How long have you done it
yeah.
for?
Uh, including COVID, I always include COVID, but I didn't do anything during COVID. But 6 years. But like, I don't think the first few years I would say they were like years I would consider myself doing comedy. I think it was just like it was a thing. I think maybe like post lockdown, I started taking it more seriously or trying to like, all right, let's like try and work these jokes. Let's try and make this a thing, a piece of work that we would be happy with. But like, yeah, if that makes sense.
It does, but how did you? What were you always like? I don't know, a funny guy. Like, did you have any other creative outlets before you started doing
Oh, yeah,
comedy?
yeah. Like, so I pretty much was like, did like acting as a young person, like did performing since I was about maybe like 14, 15, and then, uh, left university. I was trying to get back into acting and then I was doing a Sunday drama school thing. And then we had a masterclass with Ashley Waters, the guy from Top Boy. He was in the room and he basically was at the end of the session was just like, just do something outside your comfort zone, did it? Like, just do something outside your comfort zone. And then the next day I was early for work, which is probably the rarest occurrence ever. Like, and saw a leaflet for a comedy course at my local art center. did it, and it pretty much haven't really like it's been a lot of stop and start since I started. I think post lockdown, it's kind of just been like, no, we just got to keep going and keep going. Yeah, I used to know how many spots I'd done. Like I always used to know, like I wrote it down in my book. But uh, last Thursday, I lost my comedy book,
No
which
way.
oh, listen. For those of you not listening, who are listening, yeah, like you don't understand the pain it is like to lose. It's like it's not even like a laptop because you can get the stuff from the cloud. Like the book is listen,
How
like
long have you
I've
had it
had
for?
this one. So I think we do it like yearly. I change it, but like this one I've had since last August when I went to Edinburgh,
Oh
and it's
man.
yeah, like I've had easier breakups generally. Like
No, I
it's
feel you because I carry a little I carry a
yeah,
notebook with me all the time.
yeah, exactly. Oh,
Yeah. So
and
I think go on, sorry.
yeah, and like I went to the lost property place. And I was like, guys, like it sounds like you've lost a lot of stuff. Like, what are you more upset? I was like, the book. Like, I don't care about the wallet.
Oh man.
Like I lost my headphone case. Like keys. Like important stuff. Like, I just need the book. Just need.
It's I think because I freak out with stuff like this sometimes.
Yeah.
In my phone, like once in a while I take a picture of all the bits that I have.
Oh, this one I start doing.
No, no, just I mean, it's not to say but it's just because I always go crazy about it. I think if I almost lose it, then
Mm.
you'll just see me starting taking pictures so that in case I do lose it, I have something back. And yeah, it's crazy because I think I don't know, I have stuff saved on notes as well, but
Yeah.
it doesn't compare with the,
It's not the
you like,
same.
yeah, you just write it down and
I, I think that comes from like one, I've got like dyslexia and dyspraxia. So like the whole process of sitting down and typing stuff has always been such a like a daunting task at first, but then like I will find any excuse. Like if I have to sit and type something, I'll find any excuse not to do it. Like either voice typing it and so on and so forth. Whereas like writing it, I think it was the security of like this is for me. So if I fuck up spelling and grammar, this isn't like who the fuck else is gonna see this?
yeah,
I'm
because
gonna
you're
know what
reading.
this says. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like so,
So
so if someone's gone. Sorry.
how do you no, you finish.
Oh, so I just feel I've just got this image of someone finding this book and just going, "What the fuck is this gibberish?" It's just got dates of where he's been and just gibberish, like gibberish mixed with like swear words, like
It's like a doctor's note, and then you have
yeah, yeah, yeah,
fuck.
yeah, or what like question mark, like is this a slur? Question mark, like just weird. Just not a bit like so. If you have seen a green moleskin book with absolute gibberish, uh, in anywhere between London and Newcastle, oh, oh mate,
What were you
it
doing? Were you
hurts.
gigging in Newcastle?
Yeah, I was kicking in Newcastle,
Oh man.
and like this is the thing. This I don't know what possessed me, yeah, because usually whenever I gig like outside of London or whatever, yeah. I go with one bag. I'll have two bags, but when I get on the train, one of the bags goes into the other bag. No questions, like we're done. We know where everything is. But for some reason, I just had the shoulder bag on the shoulder bag and the other bag on the other bag. And then yeah, man, I'm just yeah.
Ah,
I'm still not over it. It's a week. It's like about a week this time a week ago. I'm still not over it because
I
like
wouldn't.
yeah.
I wouldn't be over it. I think
Yeah,
I
I don't think I'm ever gonna be over it.
yeah,
Like I said, like I've had easier breakups.
and
Like generally.
I don't know if it's ever, I mean, if it's happened to you before, but like I lost my first ever comedy notebook,
Yeah.
which I'm fine with because most of the
Yeah, yeah,
stuff
yeah.
there was terrible anyway. Like I'm not, thinking that I lost, I don't know, my greatest possessions, but I feel
Yeah.
like the more recent ones, I would up because even actually from time to time, I still go back and go through them just to see
Yeah.
like what did I write like last year or something like that. And yeah, no, I'd be heartbroken. It's such a shame. I think so. But also, actually, you know what? I'm very curious though, because then how do you, if you don't mind me asking, how do you write?
Yeah.
Like how do you write your jokes? Like how do you do your stories? If say, or when did you got diagnosed with dyslexia?
I kind of always knew something was going on, like, because I went through like school, always enjoyed school, but like was very confused in certain sessions, but was just there for like the bands. I think that's how like we had loads of jokes. We had good banter between everyone in the class and our teachers. We were very blessed that all, like a lot of our teachers either went to the school or were from the area, so like they knew that we like they knew the shit we were talking because they were like talking the same shit about 10 years ago. Yeah, like it was very like you couldn't fool them. We could like it was one of them ones like so uh but when I went to college, the teachers were like, "No, something's definitely up," and then got diagnosed when I was 16. Uh, was kind of like okay, like this would have helped during exam season when I was 16, stressing the fuck out. Like, but we're here now. So then in the end, I got like a scribe when I do exams and get extra time. That's why the whole process of like sitting down and typing, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? So like Google Docs has helped out a lot with the voice typing. Uh, there's a program called Dragon Dictation as well. Uh, but but like yeah, you're bogged down in it. So when I do write, it's pretty much either we start with a process of maybe saying it in a voice note and trying to convert what I've said into paper. Uh, Either just straight up just like going with a joke in my head like numerous times, doing it, and then writing them down. That's why there's some bits like with the, losing the book isn't that deep because some of the code words that I put in there would be that's triggering my head like, well, this is how I know it works in my head. And also I've done it like numerous times in numerous places, but it's the small bits that I haven't like. I was like, that's funny, but I haven't said that out loud yet. Let's work on that. And you never get back to it or whatever, or you eventually like. But my process is usually just if it's from truth or it's from a story like you're going through, it's easy. It's like, boom, this is how I can work it. This is a story. Let's try and weave it in a way that's palatable to everyone. And sometimes you don't get there and you got to be okay with like some people are not going to get it or some people are going to be triggered because they've gone through whatever they've gone through. Like, and sometimes like you just need to say it out loud and watch it die a thousand deaths before you're like, okay, was that actually funny or is it them? Is it them? I do believe in the rule of like the rule of three where people are like, if it bombs three times, you should take it out. But also like, it could be like, sometimes this is not the room for this joke.
For, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure,
like
yeah.
sometimes it's like, you've chosen the wrong place to do this.
But then,
Like,
and did you take a lot from your like acting class and everything when you put it on stage, or are you
oh yeah.
um like is the person on stage different from you off stage?
Um, I think, okay, so first things first from from converting from acting to doing stand up, yeah, is I don't know if the actors who listen to this or like actors who are thinking about doing this, yeah. The one thing that you have quicker than anything is your presence on stage because you're used to being on stage. But the only issue, like I say, one of the biggest things about acting on stage or like doing performing arts or like doing theatre stuff and like compared to like uh stand up is let's just say as an actor, you've made a decision for this character on stage and the audience don't like it. And you're like, all right, cool, fine. The audience don't like it, or they don't like you because you're this slimeball dude like on the show. Like with comedy, if they don't like you, it's because they don't like you, bro. Like, it's very, it's like, no, you're the problem. Like, we've collectively decided that they're shutting up with you and we're not going to accept anything that you said, like, which is a very, like, gratifying sort of thing. It's like, well, all right, cool. What is it? Is it what I've said? Is it what, like, how I've come across? Like, and the quickness, it's very like, it's a gamble, isn't it? Like, it's like, fuck. Like, and sometimes a gamble, like, you don't know it's a gamble until you've lost. Like, it's what, like, with loads, it's like, it's, it's when you go, oh, ooh. Or you hear the, oh, like, you're like, oh, okay, that was something that, yeah, it's
How do
very,
you how do you recover from that? Like, how long does it take you to get over? If say if you I don't know, you do a gig and you're like, oh, they're not on board. Um, does it is it hard for you to then be like, oh, it's just one of those things, or how hard are you on yourself basically with stuff like that?
oh, I'm always hard on myself. I think that I have an image in my head of what I should do and how I should be doing it. And the application is maybe, I think we're about maybe 65% there, like, which I think that, I think that should be considered an achievement. Uh, but I just feel in general, it's about, hold on, go back to the question real quick. Say the question one more time.
Cool. Yeah, the question was, how do you recover from the times when, say, a gig doesn't go your way, and how, like, are
Oh,
you?
look, it's based on time. Like, I feel like if you've got 5 minutes, yeah, you kind of don't have time to be like, oh, like, you got to kind of either got to power through, or if you can pivot somewhere else, then boom, all right, cool. But then if you've got longer time, you can be like, all right, we can work this. Uh, I, it's just all about how aware you are. I think when I first started doing gigs, I wasn't really aware of what was going on and how it was going, and or more of the idea of like, I don't have enough material to deviate from this plan, so this is the plan. Like, I think it's more. I think that's more the vibe. But I think the more you go, the more material you have, the more like savvy you feel like you are on stage. You're like, all right, cool. You don't like this bit, I'm gonna pivot. If this bit's not going well, you're like, all right, fine, fuck it. You don't like that, cool. Let's move on to it. And I think sometimes in certain rooms where you're like, you lot don't like this, do you? Let's move on. Like, or you go anyways, or like it's. I think if you understand that it's not going well and you adapt to it, and or you make it very clear that you lot don't get it, or like let's move on in it, considering like this ain't no place, it makes it better for you. But I just think it's just time. Like, it's just how it's time with how long you've got with your set, and time with like how long the more you do it.
How do you find it outside? Like, where do you find it harder, if anything, to gig, or like to kind of to show your basically to like to show yourself, to express yourself? Is it in London, or is it when you go outside of London? Like, when you're in Newcastle, was it easy for you
Uh,
to get away with? I would like to talk about. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, like where is it easier? Basically, where
okay,
do you find it easier?
so because it work like I say in London, there's certain places. I think in London, I think it's based on zones. Yeah, I feel like this is weird. Like, I'm a train buff as well, so anybody who's like, right. So like, I think the hardest place to gig in London is probably like in zone one, because you're not only just dealing with like your business boys, your boys on the night out getting battered and like stumbled into a comedy night. You're dealing with tourists as well, where like they don't necessarily get like the colloquial things. You can't be out here being like, oh, like fucking Catherine Tate or whatever, some bullshit like that, like, or saying that because like my girl from Singapore or my man from like Dakar in like Senegal don't know who the fuck she is. Like, it don't relate. So I think maybe you kind of not like you've got to change your set to make it completely more universal. Whereas when you get to like your twos and threes and fours, it's people who've like lived the way like you've lived, people that have seen the way you see, people who've like like doing what you're doing, like this and that. So you can kind of be more loose. Uh, and then like maybe your outskirts where you're going to your older grads, it's kind of like the other way where it's like a bit more like conservative, or it's either they want real dirty jokes or they don't want them jokes at all. Like, either way, yeah, or, but then out of London, I think out of London, you kind of, at this moment in time, I've not had any issues like doing it out of London. Maybe in Edinburgh where you kind of had to, I think there was a realization where I was like, I used to, when I used to say, I was from Tottenham, I used to say, I was from a very picturesque part of North London called Tottenham, and like everyone in the south of England would know that's an incorrect fact I've just said. But then in Edinburgh, I'd just be saying it, and they're like, "Oh, Tottenham's like Tottenham. I guess Tottenham's leafy or something." You're like, "Whoa, like no, wait. Do you not know that's where the riot started, madam?" It's just like like so you kind of had to you kind of had to adapt like what you do in it. Like you kind of, but I feel no out of London, it's just like you could be more like fuck it, like you because the biggest difference I've noticed about maybe big cities and maybe more London and out of London is in London there is so much shit to do. So with the idea of so much shit to do, when people come into comedy, you'd say about maybe 55, 60% of the people haven't gone like, specifically to come comedy. They've come because there was something to do in the area and they found out about it. So they're not prepared themselves for the idea of being at a comedy show. Whereas I think outside of London, it's yo, me and Sandra booked this 2 weeks ago. Yeah, like, we've been waiting for this for days. Like we're here for jokes, isn't it? Yeah. So I think everyone already knows. Like everyone knows what the game is. We're here to have a good time, and it's more like, yeah, fuck it. Like you don't really have to do the oh hi guys. Like
Yeah, are
let's
you ready
establish some more.
to
Yeah,
laugh? You're
yeah,
more
yeah,
like,
yeah,
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 I
yeah, yeah,
want to laugh.
yeah,
Make me
yeah, yeah,
laugh.
yeah.
Let's start. Fair enough. And wait, because so you're from Tottenham,
Yeah,
born and
yeah.
bred.
Born and bred. Well,
Nice. How?
technically you can't. Well, technically you can't be born and bred because there isn't a hospital in Tottenham. But as close as like like as closest as born and bred you can be in it. Like I was born in Enfield, but live in Tottenham. Like born and bred in Tottenham, bro.
Well, what was it like when? What I was gonna ask, yeah, like what was it like growing up in Tottenham?
Oh, listen, I think Tottenham is a wonderfully chaotic place. It's what's like we do have our issues and like everyone knows about Tottenham. Like someone got stabbed like the other day. Like shit kicks off on a regular basis. But what I've learned about Tottenham and like I've met news people who've like lived in Tottenham who are like, right, you lived in Tottenham? Like how? Like it's more of like if you're on the main roads, like on the main bits of Tottenham between you're pretty much fine unless you like you go through the school run, shit kicks off at the school run, or like late at night in the summers. That's when you're like, oh, maybe shit will kick off. But in the grand scheme of things, everyone's too busy on their hustle to care about what you're doing. Like, but when it does kick off, it does kick off. It's a very interesting place, but it's so diverse in it. Like at one point we had a road in Tottenham where it was like the most languages were spoken in Europe on this road. Like we've
No
had
way.
like yeah, like as much as like we do like Tottenham's a very like historical, like wonderful, crazy place. Like international students used to come in the 1800s, like people from like, all over South America used to come to Tottenham. The bloke who invented the postage stamp lived in Tottenham before like his final resting spot was there. Like it's like there's so much mad stuff like Tottenham Hell Station is like Tottenham Hell Station because Queen Victoria wanted a place to go to the Cambridge countryside or whatever without going through central London. So they built that platform. They had a party. Queen Victoria was like, "This is lit. You lot can keep the station." That's how Tottenham Hell became Tottenham Hell.
Shut
Like,
up.
so there's all it's such a like, there's so many things you're like, right, is that why? Like, and like, it's built on the trains. Like, it's, there's a lot of history in Tottenham. There's a lot of fun stuff in Tottenham. We do get a bad rap. We don't help ourselves sometimes, but yeah, man, Tottenham's a crazy place. Like, I love it. Like,
I think again, every big city, like everywhere you go, it can be good and bad
yeah.
simultaneously. I just find it. I think when you, especially like the reason I was asking is because growing up and before moving to England, living in like a small town, you're kind of from the town, and then
Mm, mm, mm,
you get to meet people from big cities, and you're like from a part of the city. And
Yeah,
that's why I still find it very interesting to speak with people who are like, oh, so you are from Tottenham, because you're like from that specific part of
yeah.
London. While
Because
again, if I were to tell you where I'm from, I just tell you the city, and you're like, no idea.
and I've kind of wanted people like lately. I've been telling people like, tell me where you're from, like because when I did like with my university degree, I did like 6 months in America, and I
Oh,
saw
no
like
way!
yeah, I did 6 months in like Long Beach, California, and one of the biggest things I learned about the expats is the expats were just lying about where they're from. And they weren't just like casual lies, they were like unbelievably far. Like this man was like, I'm from East London. And he was like, where? He's like, oh yeah, like just near East London, a place called Ipswich. And then like, I was like, Ipswich? I was like, that's not
Yes.
East London. You're lying, like, you're lying.
Did you call them out in front of
Yeah,
everyone?
like something like, and then I'll look at like the fingers and like someone would see like a look and then they'll look at you like, like I'm from London, like you're lying, bro. Like, stop telling, say the place you're from, like.
Were they actually like faking a London accent as well? Or were they actually like
I
doing that
mean,
like
I don't think a lot of people could fucking tell, like, because like they're like, you sound Southern, you sound not Southern, or like, because you tend to, if you think about it really, yeah, you think like because of the Americas, you think of the Americas, you think that the Southerners sound like way more different to like way more like weird or wackier, whereas in England it's upside down. It's like the Northerners were like, oh, hi.
oh yeah, actually. I never thought about it
Yeah,
like that.
it's like the other way around. Like I thought, but maybe you do this with you. Maybe you'll do this with a Northern comic and just they'll say the same shit I'm saying the other way around, and they'll be like, oh, like cool.
No, but you can't. You actually. I mean, like, yeah, I have never thought. It's funny because, like you said, it gets more like individualistic, I guess.
Yeah,
Where you're like, oh, if you're like a southern, I don't know, like, I think what Carolina or no, not anyway,
yeah,
Texas
yeah.
and stuff like this. They are very, very like you can tell where they are from.
Yeah.
But
But with
also,
with
yeah, if you.
us. But with us, like going on to like the London thing, it's like I think we're all very proud to be from the spaces that we're from. Like, and also not because of like obviously some people take it too far with the postcode thing or whatever. Like, but I feel like I think the thing is a lot. I think the reason why I'm always like, no, I'm from Tottenham. I think because there was a time where like people people to this day like be like say like Tottenham like, oh, they feel like this sort of like type of way about it because of the connotations and obviously like with the riots and like things that have kicked off or the shit football team that I support like things that connect to Tottenham. I still am like very proud to be from here because there's so much great things about it. I think that's what's great about other people from London and why people love the different parts that they are from London, like the born and bred people, because they kind of know that in the grand scheme of things, people can see it as like a place where it's dangerous, a place where people don't prosper. But there's a lot of like, I think some of the best flowers of it, like some of the most like, I feel like the idea of the creative flowers of the best flowers of people come from like the roughest of soils and like, that's what we are really like. So yeah, that's why I'm always like, I'm from Tottenham people.
That's
So
beautiful. That is
yeah, I know. It's a
really.
bit weird. It got a bit mushy. Fuck that, man. Nah, man. Gang business. Yeah, what? Shank,
Yeah,
shank. Nah.
no, but I think
Yeah.
it was a wonderful bit.
Yeah.
Not a bit as in like a comedy bit, but what you
Yeah.
said was really
Yeah.
wonderful. Do you have any siblings?
Uh, meh. Yeah, and, like I've grown up as an only child, but I know I'm not the only one. Yeah, like I've got half siblings.
Fair, 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 fair.
Come
Okay.
from a long line of promiscuous men, so like that is.
Well, the thing is, I've never actually met my dad, so I wouldn't even know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
you could probably met your twin like 4 times. Like, like
yeah. Like I mean, I think sometimes I'm lucky that I left the town where I come from. Because what if I dated my
yeah.
my
Oh, God
sibling
for.
by accident?
Oh,
I'd be like, oh, okay.
yeah. So that's
Um,
why, like, if I meet, like, so my parents from Sierra Leone. That's why whenever I meet like a girl on a night out is from Sierra Leone, and she's like, "Oh, I'm like, what's your second name?" Like
no
immediately.
way.
And then she's on the second day. In my head, I'm just doing a Rolodex. In my head, it's like, oh, nah, you're probably my cousin. Fuck it. No, we're good. We're good.
No
Because
way.
there's only like 7 million Sierra Leoneans like in the country, and it's like we're not a big diaspora. Like there's a big community in Southeast London, but
Okay.
like there's a few pockets of us in North London as well. That's why it's really interesting when a North London Sierra Leonean meets a South London Sierra Leonean, because a North London Sierra Leonean is very, very excited to meet another Sierra Leonean, whereas a South London Sierra Leonean is like, this is a regular occurrence for me. Like, like, it's so, yeah.
Have you been to Sierra Leone?
Yeah. Last time I went was 2012. Haven't gone for a while. I mean, there were opportunities to go, but obviously since Ebola, tickets have been far more expensive. There's no direct flights. There used to be this really fuck off connection flight where you'd start off in Gatwick, you go Gatwick, Belgium, Belgium, Morocco, Morocco, Nairobi, which is East Africa, and then you go to Liberia, and then they do a coach transfer, and that was like the cheapest ticket. And my mum knew someone who took that journey, and apparently the coach broke down on the way from the Liberia Sierra Leone border, so they had to walk through the border to get to a connecting.
No way.
So yeah, it's like so now it's either you pay about a grand two to get only play to be have the fortunate the
The
desire
fortune, yeah.
to take two planes or
But that's
you to
that
avoid,
that's
yeah.
that's wild, man.
And yeah, no, but last time I went, I think I went when I was 18, so it was just when I was just becoming an adult. So that first time going to the clubs, first time hanging out like with my older cousins, it was like it's good fun, good fun. Got to meet the president on my birthday. It was a fun day. It
What?
was a fun day. Yeah, like I had an uncle who was in the who like works in the government office. And on the day, he kept saying like he could take me to state office, like state house for the day. And I was like, no, you can't. You can't. So on my birthday, we went to State House, and then the president at the time came through, and he shook, but like apparently like he was pre-prepped to see who I was, me and my cousin, and he like apparently my mum like worked with him, uh, worked in his office like when he was young. He's like, oh yeah, say hello to your mum. I don't like da. And it was just such a
What?
like shit. Like, so even though I haven't been for years and I want to go soon, I think the last time I went was pretty awesome. Like, it's not gonna top that. Like,
I mean, it sounds like an amazing experience.
yeah, it was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome. Like, it was just like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Wow, that's incredible. And I mean, because are you so then? If that's the case, you're like first generation born here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, so you because your mom like yes, like she worked in Sierra Leone with the president at some point.
yeah. Well, yeah, so before he was a president, let's make that very
It is
clear.
still,
Like,
it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Still, it's yeah to get in the. I think yeah, I don't know. I have no story to top that actually. My dad had the
yeah.
same. My dad had the same haircut as one of our ex-presidents. If that. That's
So
I
you see
think.
me, father?
No, I don't think so. And well, no, but again, I'm saying like my dad, the one who adopted me. But
Yeah. Oh, okay.
yeah, like that's as close as I've been to. Oh no, I'm lying. I think actually I went on a ski trip, but because I come from a mountain area, so
Yeah. Where are
then
you from? Sorry.
so I'm from the north of Romania.
Okay.
But I
Cool.
come from a mountain area, like the winters were like really long, and we used to go because I'm saying we took a ski trip. We didn't take a ski. We just went to the nearest like slope basically.
Slope.
That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
yeah, that was a ski trip. And then I remember there was a pole for some reason in the middle of the slope, and I just like went into it. So I almost I fell off my slide and I almost like I hugged the pole. And the mayor of our city is the one who picked me up.
Oh,
And
bro.
then, yeah, because then my mom and dad, they kind of like saw me and they're like, oh my God, where is he going? Where is he going? Where is he going?
Yeah.
And I just go into that pole. Again, bear in mind, there was so much room to turn left and right. I don't know why or how I've managed to get right into that pole.
This
And
is
then,
not this is not a great advert for gorilla skiing. This is
and I just, yeah, and then again, I get up and I was like, oh my God, the mayor. And also, the reason why I remember is because the national date of Romania was on 1st of December. So we went to put flowers to like the fallen soldiers. And that's
yeah.
where like my mom was, oh, this is the mayor. So I had, because again, it was in 1st of December. Now this happened maybe like a week before Christmas or something like that. So it was fairly new. And then I wake up and I think, and now thinking about it, I thought for a second, have I died?
Yeah.
You know, like, is this the entrance to heaven? Your local mayor goes like, yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
shall pass.
yeah. Just to let you know. Well, but you'd be like, did you die too? What the hell? What's going on? You die at the same time and you're just cosplaying as the mayor. Like, what's going on?
And then my mom and dad, they come like, oh my God, is everything okay? We're like, oh, we're so sorry. And he was like, oh no, it's okay. I just want to make sure he's all right, da, 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 whatever. And yeah, and I think my mom fancied him a little bit, to be honest, but that's
Did
another.
mum and dad vote? Did mum and dad vote for him in the next election?
I think my mom did. My dad didn't. My dad.
Oh, because he knew that your mum fancied him.
No, my dad had some different like political views,
Yeah,
but yeah, my dad was like absolutely no chance, and my mom was like, "What a handsome man!" I was like, "I don't think that's enough to be the mayor."
yeah.
I don't know who would be the based on like good looks. I don't know who would be the mayor of London or like the mayor of. I was going to say the mayor of England. I don't know who would rule England
Okay.
if he was based on
Good
looks,
looks,
but
the mayor of London.
there's got to be someone
Oh,
from London. Is Jason Statham? No, Tom Hardy.
yeah, Tom Hardy. Yeah, Tom Hardy would be a solid mayor. You take him seriously. You say, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, Tom Hardy in Legends, like when he's one of the Krays,
Yeah.
walking into City Hall with the shotguns and like, this meeting's in session. Like, that would be good vibes.
Yeah,
That would
who?
make
Because
me laugh.
is he not actually from North London? No, I'm making it up.
Now he's from like Hammersmith way,
Oh, he's from South. Is it West
West,
London?
yeah, West London.
West London. Is anyone like famous from Tottenham?
Oh, there's a fair few famous Tottenham people. There's Adele. Adele was from Tottenham.
Shut up.
Uh, yeah, Adele, Skepta, Retry 2, the rapper. Who else? There are people that I can think of from the top of my head.
That's
The
all good.
rapper
That's a,
Chipmunk.
the chipmunk.
Uh,
Really?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No
Uh,
way.
who else? Kojo Amin, the comedian. No, no, he's from Hackney, but he went to school in Tottenham. He went to school in Tottenham.
Oh.
Uh, who else? There's loads of people, man. There's loads like we're secretly about, like
But no way. Adele is from Tottenham.
mm,
That is that's impressive.
it's
I
pretty cool,
mean,
what I mean? Like
yeah. Like, what if she wrote the songs about something that you walk past every day?
probably.
Like maybe she had her
Well,
first breakup outside the Tottenham Hale
yeah, well,
Station for a few days.
yeah. Well, outside the snail on Seven Sisters.
That's why she's even more relatable now.
There's a few people, and also was it like Steve Nash, the NBA basketball player? His roots are
Shut
from
up.
Tottenham. Yeah, I learned about like so basically for I create like youth theatre plays, and one of the youth theatre plays where I had to learn about like the local area. And then I went to this lady, and she just knew so much at the museum. And I was like, "Oh, how do you know about Tottenham?" She's like, "Well, my family bought a house in 1908, and we still live in it now." I was like, "Jesus!" I was like trying to work out how old she was. I was like, "Oh, you old, like you old." That's whatever it is. It's like you old, like. But nah,
Wow.
we've got a few
Natalie,
people.
no, Natalie Portman? Is
Yeah,
Natalie Portman the one that was in Star Wars? because I think
She's
Natalie
in Black
Portman.
Swan. She's in Black Swan. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
it
So
from.
so
Yeah,
Natalie
yeah, yeah.
Portman is from my hometown.
In Marine, it like what? Like
Yeah,
it's like a
like her
family that all like.
ancestor. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
They were Jews who flew the country, and her, like I think her again one of the grandparent families is from my hometown.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why like
Okay.
although I'm in a very happy relationship, I'm like, you know what, if she comes back and she goes like,
Yeah.
look, I'd like for us together to
Yeah.
move back home, I'd be like, fair enough.
Yeah. You've babes. It's time to go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll be like, okay, yeah, let's do it. It
We
is what
can
it is.
renegotiate you back in later, but right now I'm going with the Oscar-winning actress. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like, Star Wars. You know, it's easy. It's not even. Yeah, you don't even have. She
She
might as
could
well.
do ballet. Can you do ballet?
Yeah, well, this is the. Oh God, that's wild. But then because you were talking about like doing the fringe. Have you done it a couple of times, or was it the first time you done it last year?
Uh, First full run last year. First full run for the first time. Did organized chaos with Tasha Klusky and Danny Scott. Uh, we had a whale of a time. It was tough at the start. I generally did think the first week I was like, I hate this. No one's understanding me. What like I'm like it was a proper like big crisis of confidence. Like the
No
first week,
way.
I want to go home. Like it was, and it wasn't because it was just my performances. Personally, I didn't adapt. I thought maybe it could work anywhere. Uh, and like both of them were doing well because they're both powerhouse performers as well. Yeah, so like you don't want to be the third wheel, the lagging wheel in like in a group of three. So I was in the dumps. I was in the dumps. Like, and I don't think I like in the first week. I don't think maybe I reached up to their levels. I did a few times, yeah, but them man are great in it, yeah. And I think I'm good as well. I think I'm good as well. But they were consistently banging. And I think I was working through the kinks for the first week or two, and then got to their level, reached to their level, and got to like what they were doing. But I think the first 10 days were hard. Like they
No
were.
way.
And also I think I just wasn't sleeping. I think it was very stressful. I think there was one day where one of my mates came to see me and like it didn't go as well as like compared to the other ones, but everything just clicked. And it was a day where I sat down. I was in a lot. And the reason why I sat on the store and did it because like I've got like arthritis in my hip, and my hip was really fucked. So it was
Oh
like a
no.
decision where it was like I've got to sit down and do this 15. And I think sitting down and just be like, yo, let's go back to basics. Let's like be okay with doing this with a notepad for like the first like let's for like maybe a day or two. Because I think the idea of I think I've got so much pressure on myself going up there thinking it's got to work. It's got to be. I've got to do this to be progressive or this and that. Where like the realization was one, like you're doing it. You're not debuting. You're not like doing a work in progress. You're not going to do your hour by yourself. So in the grand scheme of things, like it's only punters who are coming to see you. Like who the fuck cares? Like two, this is about like what you're getting out of it. And right now, by you being in this headspace of like it's not working, we're not doing this, we're not doing this, you're not getting anything out of it. You need to work out what you're getting out of it, and that's where I started doing like feedback to myself, adapting the jokes, working it, and then it sort of kind of like clicked into place. I feel like at the end of the month, after doing like 47 gigs in 25 days, at the end of the month, you were just like, nah, like, we're good. Like, we can do this. You just need to know to adapt yourself. And I feel as much as Edinburgh's so fucking expensive, it's not made for people like who are working class or trying to survive and live their jobs. Like, it's not made for that. Like, it's like also are the people of Edinburgh who are doing these accommodations, clearly their vibe is like, listen, we're going to get our summer holiday out of this, so we're going to charge through the roof, which fair play to them. It's not great. But like creatively, what you gain as a comedian is like tenfold, I think. So the idea of like, so I I get why people don't think it's a necessary evil, but I think it's a semi-necessary evil. Like don't kill yourself to go to Edinburgh, but go to Edinburgh. I think that's the vibe I tell anyone. Like, don't like if you financially can't do it, there's other avenues of you doing it. Yeah, like the money that you're spending going up to Edinburgh to take that show for a month, that's gonna make you broke for the next two. Like I was, yeah. Like you could go do gigs all over Europe, even though. But the only critique is all those big gigs with all the good guys who you would want to link up and make connections with in Europe will be in Edinburgh that month. That's the only frustrating thing about that because like, and you do like make connections, and so like now I haven't done it yet, but if you go to well, I have done it a few times. If you go to like different gigs all over the country, you have met someone from there, and you can have a chat with them. It's nice to have like, all right, cool. We had like we got like hammered together in a bar in Edinburgh. We could do that at the Lowry, like, or we could do that like in Grangertown in Newcastle, or you could do that when we get down to Liverpool. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the connections you make are good. Like, and you kind of understand that we're all in a struggle. I think the biggest thing I learned is like when it's like there's a not a like a level of success. There's like an idea of success that you have as a comic that evolves as you evolve, and you're in
Okay.
different, and everyone's in different spaces. So like maybe a newer comic will come to me or like come to you and be like, oh yeah, you're doing bits, you're doing well, and then you're like, oh thanks, but in your head you're like, I ain't doing fuck all, bro, yeah. And then you say it to someone else, you'll say it to someone else, yeah, who you think's doing big, yeah, and they'll be like, oh, I'm still trying to get this shit, like, and it's like, and then they'll say it to someone else, like, and it's just this and that, and I think that's one of the biggest things I learned in Edinburgh. So like when people are accepting, like you give someone a compliment, you think like it's better than yeah. I don't think sometimes it's like yeah, I'll take it, yeah. But sometimes in my head like you don't even know, bro. I'm fucking having a mental like a mental
I
metamorphosis
think
in my head. Yeah, like
I don't know if it's ever happened to you. I hope not, but
yeah.
I I do sometimes. You know, when I think about like basically telling someone like, "Oh yeah, you've done really well," or but before I go on,
Mm.
and then I have to go, and I feel like, oh my God, now it's like double the pressure because now I've just complimented or like I've told someone
Yeah,
something about their stand up, and now they're gonna see me. If I'm not doing well, they're gonna think this is the biggest idiot on the
yeah.
face of the earth.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Yeah, I think just accept. I think the vibe is just accept compliments. Just accept them, innit? They're
Yeah.
hard to accept. You find it so weird. It's so weird that I'm having this conversation, but like we need to accept these compliments, like accept the compliments, because you're either gonna get compliments or no one's gonna say that to you, or at worst, you're standing next to another comedian and they get the compliment and they don't say that to you.
Oh my God, this is the worst.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like accept them. There's a like they're few and far between. If someone's come up to you, like even if like you saw them not laugh the whole time, and you're like, I didn't see you smile the whole time when I was on. They're like, oh, well done, I really enjoyed it. You're like, you know what? So do you get in your head going, no, but bitch, I didn't see you laugh. Like you just go, no, all right, cool, just take it, just take it, just take it. Like I think one of my there's one I'll never forget was where I did a gig at one of my first gigs I did in Tottenham. Not like my first ever gig, one of my first gigs in Tottenham. Was like a natty semi final. Uh, Catherine Higgins as well. Catherine Higgins, fantastic, fantastic comic, yeah. And like just before she goes on, yeah, she comes up to me, yeah, like well banter, she's like, I'm in your hometown, I'm gonna go smash it and you're gonna deal with it afterwards, yeah. We're both like laughing about it, yeah. She goes on, proceeds to absolutely destroy the gig. Like Tony Montana, like it's a room full of Afro-Caribbean ladies, yeah. They're not really down to laugh in the grand scheme of things in this room, yeah. Like it's been tough for everyone. She goes in and it's like, like kills it, goes off, sees me, I go on, first joke, bombs, dies. Like, guys. And in my head, I'm like, I'm from here. Like, Like, this is my place. I learned how to do comedy in this room. Like, in this head, I'm like, no. And then we leave it, and you see all these, like, the aunties are like, going, like, oh, like, well done, saying it, well done to everyone to that. And they're just looking at me as they walk past, and you're like, oh, this is what. So I did that gig. And then a few months later, I did another gig, my first ever 20. And then some man comes up to me and he goes, yeah, I saw you at that gig in Tottenham. I didn't understand it. I seen you today. I get it. And then walks off, and I was like, I'll take it. I will take it. He didn't say it was good, but
I
I'll
get
take it. Like,
it.
it's like a last minute equalizer
It
away
sounds
from
like
home.
the best like chortle review where he's like, I seen you
Yeah.
6 months ago, didn't get
Yeah. Yeah.
it.
So it's tonight. I get
You
it.
know, I was gonna say I think it happened in the past where it happened to me once where I think I can't remember the specifics, but I remembered doing this gig and then someone going to the comedian next to me go like, "You're great, such a great night,"
Yeah.
you did, and then they look at me and then they just like go like dead serious and they're like, "You're good," but you see that they just panicked probably because they
Yeah.
saw me next to that
Yeah, exactly,
comedian
exactly. Just
because
take it.
they're
Take it.
yeah,
Take
his whole persona
it.
just changed, and they were like, "Oh my God, yeah, the best one." And then they look at me
Nah.
and like, "Yeah, well, good." And I was like,
Yeah, no, take it,
"All
take
right,
it, take
yeah."
it. Just take it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it.
Oh my God, I hope this guy comes back to one of your gigs
Yeah,
and
I want to go see. I want to see him again.
and
He's
imagine he
like,
goes like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
my
and he goes
guy.
like, "I get it now, even
Yeah,
more."
yeah, yeah, yeah. It just likes it.
Yeah, it's
I was like,
all
bro, I
coming
need you to
together.
say this all on camera for me. I beg. Just one time. Do you know what? Just say voice note. We'll get animation. Just say it in here.
You do
Like,
like with one of those the act of kindness videos that are like
yeah,
made pre-done. You're just like, hey, let's do it. So you go back to like the venue in Tottenham, and you're like, hey, can
yeah,
I just bring this guy in? We take
yeah.
a couple of shots with him, looking confused on stage, and then we're taking when he took the 20, and he's like, I get it.
Yeah,
And
get it.
then now again, it's like a documentary almost,
He's
like
like,
hard work pays off, sort of.
I
At
didn't
night, you
understand
might
why
pick it
he.
up or something.
Yeah, I think it might work. It might work. I just know it's. Yeah, that's what I think. Now just accept it, and with feedback as well. Like also, like you can hear feedback, but you don't have to listen to feedback. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel
True.
because if you like, I feel like sometimes it's good to hear it in it because like on one hand it's like, oh, I never thought about it that way, and that can help you open the door to write more bits. Yeah. Or, oh, you didn't get it. Cool. That's up to me to check, like, am I saying this correct? Cool, cool, cool. But then also, don't like, it's like, get out of your head about ego, because like maybe someone new comment might just be able to say something to your head and be like, oh, cool. Don't like this, like, that's why I say, hear feedback. You don't have to, like, you can hear feedback, but you don't have to listen to feedback.
Yeah, I think it's like one of those quotes where you just take whatever adds value to you and then you leave the rest
Yeah,
behind,
yeah. It's and because also, God forbid you shut someone down with that feedback. A year later, they're like doing bits. You're like, oh, like maybe he was onto something, or like maybe they were onto something. Like fucking
But also the thing, you never know. I also think sometimes if you're like, you never know who's going to be the next best thing. And then
yeah,
if you just see that person, you're like, oh my God, I was an asshole to X, Y, or Z. Anyway, that's
yeah,
not the reason why I'm not an asshole
yeah,
to
yeah,
some
yeah, yeah,
people.
yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm there. Yeah, just gotta be nice in it. Just be nice in it, because
Yeah.
like one. If someone's like, if someone's unkind to you, fuck them. Like, I don't care who they are. If they're being a dick, they're being a dick. Like, you gotta like pull them up on them.
And I even
But
think, sorry, go on.
yeah, but I just think like, if I think the more chill you are, like, the more chill this is. Like, if you're making this, because remember, you're like, we're out here doing like 2 to 5 gigs a week. Like, you're gonna see these people again. Like, is there really a point of being annoyed? Like, it's like I get it. Some people are dickheads. Like, and like sometimes you could be annoyed by someone. Like, their presence for no reason. And, like, I get it, but like also like that's stopping you from doing what you need to do on stage. Like imagine you bombed because you're in your head because you annoyed another comic. Like you're gonna be even more annoyed with them, and the cycle will never end. Uh,
That is true. That's very vicious. That's very vicious
yeah.
to just like pile up on that. Um, well, now before we wrap it up, I
Okay.
wanted to
Cool.
ask where do people find you,
All right.
and whether if you're doing the Edinburgh or like if you have got any like shows lined up. This is gonna be aired in probably July, so
Oh,
just on
okay.
time. Yeah. So if you got
What
anything
date in
over,
July? What date? What date?
I don't know yet. It's gonna be maybe like the second or third Tuesday.
Oh, second. Second or third Tuesday. If it's the second, I'm gonna just say it. I'll just say it. Hold on, let me check. I need to check something. Is there something that I can plug? This is really bad. This is top class podcasting, by the way, from me.
It's all good. Don't worry. It's very little stakes. And
Okay, right. If this is coming out on the that's the it's the second week the week containing the 11th of July. Yes. All right. Fuck it. I'm just gonna say it. Right. Me and my good comedy mate, Wes Defoe, we're starting to run a night, our first night at the Orange Room in Stratford. It's gonna be called Durag Energy. The show's gonna be a concept of like the vibe of like you wearing a durag. It's a relaxed vibe. It's gonna be really chill. We've got some great comics. We've got some great comics. Hopefully, if you follow me on Instagram at Ibs IBS underscore Sesay SESAY, there'll be DLs for it as well. However, if you are on Instagram and you type in fair trade cocoa beans, I'm the second person that pops up. Yeah. So let's keep pushing. Let me get more followers so I can be the number one person that pops up when you type in fair trade cocoa beans. Check it for yourself in it, and if I'm correct, give me a follow. What? Just like plugs. What? But yeah, it's called Durag Energy. Uh, follow me on Instagram. That's where most of my information stuff is. And if you're into wrestling, the Wrestle Club podcast, yeah, is on there. Come follow us. It's gonna be good vibes. And yeah,
and you do you not do another night with Wes actually?
yeah, we do. It's called Comedy Rattle. It's in Wood Green. If you follow us on Instagram at Comedy Rattle, uh, any comedians looking for spots, go and look on Gig Gag as well. Uh, yeah, but it's all gravy. I feel like this year's the year of trying to work smarter, not harder, not trying to run myself into the ground by mid-October. So yeah,
Which is fair enough. You gotta do what works for you, you know.
yeah,
And yeah, you gotta adjust for sure.
yeah,
But
man.
yeah, man, it was great catching up.
Well,
I really
thank you,
enjoyed the
man.
chat. I hope you did as well. And
Yeah, man. We should
yeah,
do this again soon as well. Like when
we will.
I'm not running around London like a headless chicken. So
Well,
yeah, man.
the what did you say? Once the working smart, not working hard goes on
It
full
kind of
motion.
goes into when we're consistently consistent.
Exactly. But yeah, we'll get you back on, and also because I'm just around the corner from Stratford, so that's very convenient for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on,
Um,
right?
check it out, the Durag Energy.
Yeah, direct energy.
Cool. Well, thank you, and bye for now.
That is.
Well, how was it? Was it good? I hope so. I had a good time recording it, and yeah, look for any more um, updates. Obviously, you know the drill by now. I think. Hopefully, if not, here it is again. Check out the bio to see a link to Ibs's socials and to see his handle on social media, and you can find mine as well for any more podcast related updates and comedy related updates. We are waiting. I'm doing a little anyway, I'm waiting on a venue. I'm doing a show that I'm really um, excited about. It's going to be a showcase of my work, just because I need a good taping of it. So in case you live in London and you want to come down, yeah, just stay posted. Once I confirmed it with the venue, and I got a date, I will start advertising it. And what else? I think that's it. Yeah. Until next week, stay skillful and look after yourselves, folks. From me, Pickle Sarma. Goodbye.